All right, welcome back to another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmor. This is going to be another match out of the Alpha Navigators Cup that was played a couple weeks ago. These games, I believe, are played on patch 0.02 because that's what patch I'm on right now, and I think they would have been corrupted otherwise. And this is a match between msrm and Snoxtar, who's also playing the Infernal. And I'm an Infernal player, and I love to cast Infernal games. If you're on my channel, you may have noticed those are all the games that I cast. But I think this might be the very first IVI that I've cast, and that is not on purpose. I absolutely love this matchup. It's my favorite matchup. A lot of people think I'm crazy because I say that. But this is my favorite matchup. I think it has a lot of fun dynamics, and it really tests who is the better player. And at the moment here, we have both of the Hexens scouted across the map to scout what the other was doing, and then teleported home to start with creeping. But both players are mostly on the same build right now. We've got two vaults out of each. The only difference, it looks like, is our vault positioning and our choice of where to put our initial farm. So msrm has chosen to put his farm here by the health camp, which is a very standard common place to put it, because not only do the fell hogs help you creep, although I don't see any here yet, it helps you hold that camp if you send a fiend there or something. But what we see from Snoxtar is that he put his here at the vision camp and has actually sent a brute ahead of time to creep along with the fell hogs. This, I think, is actually an exciting thing to do. It is something that I do as well, not on this camp, but with the energy camp over here. A single brute and 3 fell hogs can creep this whole camp, and what that allows you to do is creep more than one camp at a time and increase your income. And of course, that's a big part of this patch and the last patch, is getting that creep income from that initial run through the map. So this first set of creeps can return back a few hundred luminite and maybe about 100 therium if you are able to creep it all really quickly, which is more luminite or therium than you're able to get out of just mining, and which is why creeping has become the central of this meta. And I think as we see that adjusted in future patches, that's probably going to fall off a little bit. So, and I think most of us would be happy to see that. I personally love the creeping in the game. I've played all the Blizzard RTSs, but my favorite of them all is Warcraft 3. And so I love that they brought creeping into the game. But the creeping right now does seem to be an important, almost too important part of the game. Because as you can see right now, we are, 3.5 minutes into this game. And other than our initial scouting, both players have just been content to creep out their entire side of the map. And in fact, both of them are even using the same sort of meta game creeping tricks that have been developed over this patch, of putting farms in strategic locations, even pulling down these trees so it's faster to move from one of these camps to the next. So all of these sort of little creeping tricks have sort of been figured out, and we want the game to be a little bit more dynamic in that earlier bit than other than just each side's creeping each player creeping their side of the map, and putting down expos with the income that generates. So finally we get a little bit of interaction. We see that msrm decides to go across the map with his fiends and take the health cap, and then do a little harass and scouting at the same time. And we see the health cap being taken back now. And same thing, want to go across the map, maybe steal this camp. But here's some fell hogs and a farm. Like I said, it helps the player to keep this. Although in this case, there's so many fiends there that the fiends killed all the fell hogs and can now kill that farm. But the army of Snoxtar comes over trying to take out the fiends before the farm goes down. Now that's not a super important farm. Its whole job was to keep those camps, and it did its job because those units came back and chased off the fiends and kept the camp. Now, we are starting to get a little bit of a divergence. We've got both of our players on their natural, but Snoxtar's decided to go and grab this Therium, this camp with the Therium next. And the third base for msrm is going to be this Luminite camp here. Now there is this Therium node in the middle, and this is also a pretty common play for an Infernal, which is to put down a extra shrine right next to this Therium node so that you can increase the rate of return on your imps there. And then what I think is also really beneficial of this is it's basically a macro shrine that allows you to pump out more imps quicker, allowing you to put down, you know, saturate bases quicker or put down more static defense, etc. We've got some more scout fiends up here trying to, you know, get an eye, maybe steal a tower or two to see what the state of the economy is of the opponent. We've got a upgrading Shroud Stone, going to upgrade to a Wraith Stone. I really like the positioning of this too. Puts it on that side, so anything walking through the Shroud on that side is going to take damage and be slowed, which could slow down pushes towards his base. So I really like that idea. And we have those fiends going through, getting an idea of what's going up. Now Snoxtar starting creeping again, the second round of creep. So both of these players can tend to macro and upgrade. And other than a little bit of scouting and a minor fiend run by here or there, we don't have a lot of interaction between these players. They're just trying to macro up, get an advantage on each other by building a better army composition quicker. Let's take a quick look at that. With no units tab, what we can do is we can say, well, there's 3 Magmadons. I can count 3. And over here we have 3 Magmadons. Okay. Over here it's a lot of Zon, which I think can be a bit of a bait in these matches sometimes, since Magmadons are quite good against them. Although we have a lot of Gaunts over here too. Gaunts are good, of course, for the infest mechanic. But we have, it looks like 5 or 6 brutes over here winding out this army, making it a little bit more well-rounded. Some more meat up front. Brutes aren't really the best DPS unit, but they are good at tanking. And we've got some fiends again trying to get an advantage on Snoxtar by just maybe stealing this camp over and over, as he has, cutting into that income just a little bit, and of course gaining it yourself is always nice too. But now we have the full army here to chase those fiends away. And it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Magmadons now stomping along in Snoxtar's army. And we've got 4 over here for msrm. Oh, I missed that Stompy Boy up at the top. There's 5 Stompy Boys out here. And okay, that's pretty even numbers. It's not, you know, conflicts between IVI are not just going to be about who has the most Magmadons. Although having a good Magmadon count outnumbering your opponent can be very good. We see that Wraithstone doing work there. I think msrm just seeing the Wraithstone and realizing the additional cost to pushing into it has chosen to push back. Now, Fiends versus Magmadons. You can see there that Magmadon is sort of the winner of those battles, as long as the Magmadon can get a stomp off. And these Magmadons just content to smash down some trees and see if they can deny this shrine. Sure enough, denied. And now we got a big stomp coming through. We got Mags on the outs versus Mags on the inside. And it looks like the Magmadon count number is going to go to msrm here, having more quickly reinforced. And these Mags are up front. no Mags really got inside the Gaunt line, although it looks like MSRM is choosing to pull back. And I can't really see the health bars here. Maybe just pulling back to make sure that that stomp gets recharged. Yeah, a lot of back and forth, waiting for the stomp to recharge. These Magmadons are... There's a ton of Gaunts here, but what they really want to do is get on top of those Gaunts. Okay, they've decided to turn around and maybe get on top of these Magmadons, but the Gaunts are still in a large number, and the God count outnumbers for Snoxtar. We're now, it looks like about 4 Mags versus 3, 5 Mags versus 4. Often at this point our Mags are starting to get low. And a little secret you want to do, I can't see in this replay, but if you chomp down on these Fiends, you get free white health, which is a great way to keep those Magmadons alive so that they can get another round of stompy stomps down. And here we got more stomps coming down from MSRM, trying to get on top of those Gaunts. If he can just get on top of those Gaunts, he's going to be able to really wipe this army. We've got a single Hellborn coming back. We've got another Summoned Shroudstone pushing them back. Alright. These Gaunts just trying to do some, you know, hit and run tactics. Strike in, maybe able to snipe one of these Magmadons. If those Magmadons, of course, can get their tier 3 speed upgrade, that's going to make them even more deadly against these Gaunts. It's going to make them able to really stomp right on through the army and get on top of them. But for now, it looks like we've got that battle in the middle calming down a bit. We've got a dragon. Of course, the dragon here is a really good counter to Magmadons in particular, since they cannot shoot up. But it's also just a great unit all around versus a lot of different compositions. Probably why it cost 700, 700, and 150 animus. It was on the 5-minute cooldown. You aren't out here massing dragons unless you're in a 45-minute game. But it looks like here creeps are starting to refresh, and maybe the reason why we saw MSRM go back here is you don't want to be attacking without your health camp. And it looks like the same thing is true for Snoxtar. And of course, when the creeps refresh here, it triggers this cycle of recreeping. So the health camp refreshed, and now the vision camp's going to refresh, and then the next will be the energy camp, and so on. And the same circuit that you just ran, 5 minutes ago, you're going to run again. And this is, this is because the creeps are on a 5-minute cycle like that. And one of the benefits of going back out and reclaiming these creep camps, in addition to getting the boost, is all the bounties have been doubled. And this, I think, is going to even go up further in future patches. At least over time, the bounties go up, encouraging you to get back out on the map. This is especially to help stop against turtling kind of styles, where at least if you're not out on the map every 5 minutes, you're missing out on some of the bonuses from your creeping. Now, this is a lot of Stompy Boys, and they're now coming across this 4th, 5th, 6th space, whichever this is, from Snoxtar, and trying to do some damage. We have a lot, I'd say 12 Magmadons here, plus our dragon and our Gaunts. Now, it looks like Snoxtar is saying, well, you're in my base, well, I'm going to be in your base then. So I'm going to come across you. I know you've got some here. I think the advantage to Snoxtar is that he's got the middle base. And he's gone ahead and mixed some Hellborn in there, which I really like. And we might be into an old-fashioned base trade. We got very similar compositions here. But we have, MSRM's now content to also just push in here on this base as well. Now it looks like, having destroyed that base, we have Snoxtar coming back with a nice Shadow Flyer impact on the dragon. And now we got the dragon breathing its breath down. from Snoxtar on MSRM's giant ball of mags, and now those mags finally getting on those gaunts like they want to. So many stompy gaunts, so many gaunt bodies just sprayed across the ground there. Look at all that blood. That's what you want to see in a IDI. So many stompy stomp gaunts. Gaunts are just there to get stomped. Let's watch more get stomped. Yeah, now those Hellborn in the back, which have been doing work, have unfortunately got some mags on top of them, but they've got an escort around them to protect them. Those gaunts are saying, "Stomp me! Don't stomp my Hellborn buddies!" But these stompy boys say, "No, I'm here to stomp everything. I'm going to stomp everything in my path." And wow, looks like fiends tried to run by over here, and in the end, all there were stompy boys left among the carcasses of their companions. Okay, well that dragon did survive. I was trying to keep track. Did my dragon survive? So that's a survived dragon from Snoxtar. Do we got a survived one from MSRM? I don't think so. I think that dragon went down. Alright, well, this center base needs to get pushed by, it says MSRM. And maybe changes his mind once seeing again a Ray Stone. Those things are just very off-putting. They do damage to all your units. You want to get right on top of it. It slows you. Ooh, nice Nightfall infestation. Getting infest on those. And oh, those stomps. Stomp, 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 stomp. And bigger stomps coming back the other way. Now, of course, in this patch, they stopped Magmadons from stunning other mags, which was definitely necessary. Ooh, and we're now seeing that Molten Touch coming down from the Hellborns, lighting all of the units on fire, including any units behind them as they get struck by that area of effect damage. Massive stomps coming down from the Magmadons on top of those guns, cleaning them up with that damage over time from the Hellborns. And that dragon just on top, breathing down that... Oh, and that's it. That's a GG from MSRM. We see a victory from Snoxtar in this fun macro game. Hope you enjoyed this game, and please stay tuned for more Stormgate content.